Welcome, guys, to the first ever Relatable Gamers podcast. It's your boy, Smithdoggy, and I am joined by LowPolyButt. And yeah, this is the first ever podcast we've ever done, so if it's a bit rough around the edges, I apologize. Leave a comment.
Part of the charm.
Yeah, exactly. Leave a comment down below telling us we're fucking trash at editing, all that good stuff. We'll do a brief introduction for each of us, for those of you who haven't seen us before. If you're watching this on my channel, chances are you already know who I am, but just in case, we'll cover that. And we will go over LowPolyButt as well. So we'll start with myself. So I am Smithdoggy by name on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. I started off streaming League of Legends in December. I hated every second of it. That game's miserable. I can't stand it. I hate it. So I've pulled myself away from that, and I'm now streaming Valorant quite a lot. I'm making a lot of Valorant videos, which is much better. It suits me much more, and I'm much happier doing that. So I'm trying to sort of regularly upload to YouTube. I also try to stream as many days as I possibly can on Twitch. So as I was saying, you can find me on twitch.tv/Smithdoggy, youtube.com/Smithdoggy. Twitter is SmithdoggyTTV, actually, because it's telling me that Smithdoggy is taken, but it isn't.
And fantastic name, so I wouldn't
it's very sought after. I've searched for the account and I can't find it, and I've done some research and they say that it might be taken by a suspended account or something. But I can't. There's nowhere to get in contact. I tried to submit a Twitter ticket, and they was like,
"Yeah, if you will."
Yeah, they was like, "We might not be able to respond to this." Okay,
we might not be able to. I don't know.
Fantastic. They was like, but we will hold on to it so we can improve our services in future. I was like, well, that's not helpful to me now in this instance. Yeah, so yeah, it's SmithdoggyTTV on Twitter and Instagram. But I will link all of both our socials in the description down below. So, Josh, take it away, Marty.
Okay, so I am LowPolyButt. I've been streaming on and off. Very off, more off than on.
Mostly off.
Yeah, but when did I start? Jesus, I think I started third year of university, so that would be 2017, I think.
Okay, we get it. You're educated, we understand.
I mean, yeah, so I've got to let people know because no one's going to know. But recently, properly started more a few weeks ago. I think my Twitch affiliate anniversary was probably a month ago now. I try and stream as regularly as I can, which is very not regularly, and I can see by his face that he's trying not to say something. But yeah, try and stream as regular as I can. I don't stream one thing. I'll stream whatever I'm playing. It'll normally be Overwatch, maybe. I do stream Valorant as well. And every Saturday I try and do a group segment with some of my friends from university called Shitty Co-op Saturday. Either the game's shitty or we are. That's the selling point. So you can catch that at twitch.tv/LowPolyButt. I am on Instagram, I think, as LowPolyButt. I'm on Twitter as something else. I'll have to remember that because
Optical Genesis. I'm pretty sure.
I think it is, yeah, because I tried to change it because I had an account called LowPolyButt that I kind of set aside. And then I was like, right, I'll delete that account. I'll use LowPolyButt on my main account. It'll be all nice and uniform. And then I tried to change the username, and they were like, no. So for now, I am on Twitter as Optical Genesis. No YouTube as of yet. Stay tuned. But yeah, that is me.
Okay. So what we'll do, we've got like a segment that we're going to do anytime we've got a guest on, which hopefully for our next episode we will. Yet to be decided who. Again, if you have any suggestions for that, comments below, by all means. But we have like a general icebreaker that we're going to go through every time, because every time I'm streaming, there's one thing that seems to get my chat talking, and it's food discussions. I don't know what it is. So we will go over our favourite and least favourite fast food establishment or item. So I would say my least favourite out of all the like sort of big fast food things that I can think of, and I don't know if it's going to be controversial or not, my least favourite, I don't know, would it? Maybe I'm just kind of chunky because I kind of rate them all. I would, in fact, you know what? Where would you say Frankie and Benny falls? Is that just like restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not really fast. Like,
No.
they've got some really slow microwaves.
That's why I think it's trash.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so we won't include that in fast food then.
Okay.
I would say in terms of fast food, I'm gonna chuck like just pizza takeaway places out there. I think Domino's is kind of trash.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. You like Domino's, but I think
I do. I don't mind.
if I had to pick a least favorite, I'd say it's probably Domino's. I don't know. I feel like it just leaves like a weird taste. It just leaves like a weird, and I think it's kind of overpriced. They've got good options.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
And I'm not saying, by no means am I saying that it's, well, I did just say it was trash, but it's not like trash. It's just it's my least favorite
Exactly.
out of all of them. Yeah, I think mine would be Domino's, honestly. But again, I can still enjoy Domino's from time to time. I just don't have them often, purely because I'm not fucking made of money. That's another thing. The price. That's you got to take that into consideration with it.
Oh, absolutely.
So, I do prefer Pizza Hut, which I think is controversial.
That is right. I'm leaving. I can't have that.
In terms of favorite, I'm a bit basic, and I might be biased because this is my current place of employment. But McDonald's is my favorite. I thought I'd get bored of it after 4 years of working there. I'm not. Just not. I just love it. I think they do a good job of rotating the menus and bringing all the new stuff in just to distract you for a few weeks.
Exactly. Keep you on your toes.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. So yeah, Mackey's for me is number one. I don't even know why it's so good. It just is. Maybe it's because I get it fucking really cheap. Maybe that's what it is. A free one every shift. But yeah, after 4 years, I could still just fucking eat that every day. So yeah, go on then, Josh. Your favorite and least favorite, or least favorite first, then do your favorite.
I'm gonna go solely based on price because, much like yourself, if it's food, I'll eat it. I'm gonna go with Burger King. Least favorite.
I'd considered that.
I don't mind. I don't mind like eating a Burger King. Like if I'm somewhere where there's a Burger King, I'll have it. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay that much for it.
Yeah, it is pricey. You're right.
In terms of favorite, I think I'm gonna have to go KFC.
Yeah.
Batter.
I'm pretty sure that's treason in our line of work. That is.
Well,
But no, it is a good shout. Before lockdown, I actually discovered just how much I like KFC.
Oh yeah.
I just had one and I was like, I need another one, and I went back the next day. I just can't help myself. But
in case anyone is watching, like in the future, this was recorded during lockdown. Some interesting times, I think we'll all agree.
Very true. We are living through history right now. It's
yes.
I did actually see on Facebook earlier a video that some nurses had made. Nurses, obviously including both male and female members of staff. I don't know where it was recorded. Disclaimer, I don't know where it was recorded. It might not have been actual medical staff, but it certainly looked the part. And it was some people... I think they were trying to mimic the meme that there is, again, at the time of recording, of those dudes dancing with, like, the coffin. They were doing that, but there was a guy wrapped up in, like, cling film, and he had, like, COVID-19 on his feet, and I was like, that's a bit... yeah, it's a bit much. Now, for me, I've always said you can joke about anything. Like, I'm a big fan of Ricky Gervais, and obviously he will joke about quite literally anything. I think in one of his most recent ones, he did have a joke about SIDS. So
right, okay.
Yeah, he will joke about anything. So I'm always up for a laugh, but I don't know. I feel like this shit's happening right now. So that seemed a bit mad. But yeah, we are recording this during lockdown. The UK is currently in lockdown. People seem to be looking at opening up, and life might in the next few weeks start to return to normality. But this has been a very unique experience that I would like to think we're never going to experience again.
Well, I mean, it's somewhat similar to Spanish flu, and that was only, I say only, it was like 90 years ago.
I think I'm sure it was it not 100? I think it might have been 100 years ago exactly, because you see the stuff going around where it's like, and it sort of compares all the similarities
Oh, it was 1914. So yeah, it had been over 100 years ago. It was 1914 anyway. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Hopefully it should be
I
a
think there's a lot of lessons to be learned from this, in
absolutely.
a lot of ways. I think
But whether they will be learned is an intelligent
true.
question.
There's a lot for society to learn. This is a very unique thing for governments as well. This
Mm,
is poor Boris, bless him. He just got elected and then got thrown into what he describes as the biggest challenge Britain's faced since World War Two. But he would say that. But no, he's probably right. But yeah. So this was recorded during lockdown. So, oh yeah, briefly going back onto the fast food thing. Question: you know, with Subway, do you like Subway?
yeah.
Oh, I love Subway. Now, do you experiment with different subs, or do you just have one that you stick to?
No, I'm a bit of a basic bitch.
Yeah.
Italian herb and cheese,
Okay.
or cheese and herb. Can't remember which way they go.
Mm.
Toasted
Yeah.
pepper jack cheese, meatball marinara,
That's
bit,
fine.
bit of lettuce.
Charlotte used to piss me off. Mrs. Smithdoggy, for those of you who don't know, she used to piss me off. She'd go to Subway. Guess what she get? A fucking ham sandwich. She paid £8 for a fucking ham sandwich. What are you doing?
Jeez.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
is upsetting.
But I always have the exact same thing because I'm always really worried, and this goes for takeaways as well. I'm always really worried about ordering something and then not liking it, and then I've just spent that money when there is something that I know that I do like. You know what I mean? I'd very much like to stick to what I know. But I respect the people who can just go in and just switch it up every time. But
Yeah, just like look at it and go, oh, I'm gonna have something completely different.
that ain't me. Yeah,
No,
I always get. What do I get? Hearty Italian, foot long every time. No room for.
Oh, it's got to be foot long. I will fight to the death that 6-inch subs are a false economy. Because you eat a 6-inch sub, right? You think that's not enough. It's never enough for no one. No one is satisfied with a 6-inch sub, right?
No.
I'm going to go out and say it. No one.
No.
If you are, well, you're lucky because that's cheap. But then, like, so you have your 6-inch sub and you go, well, I'm still hungry, so I'm going to get another one. And then you spent more than a foot long. You might as well just bought foot long in the first place.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I just get really heated about 6-inch subs.
Yeah. So I have the foot long hearty Italian. I have, for the longest time, I only had chicken and bacon. Obviously, I'd have other stuff, but this is where I'd go. I'd have chicken and bacon. And my mouth is literally watering. But I started adding pepperoni in there as well, just because it gives it like that nice little kick, little something else. So I had that, and I did have ranch sauce, but they just got rid of it.
All right.
Yeah, they just took it away. It's so underrated as a sauce. Ranch is a fucking quality sauce. That shit's really underrated. So now I just have to settle with just cheese and mayo. I never put any salad on there at all. It's the same with my pizzas. I'm always just meat feast. Give me meat. I'll have chicken, and then I'll have chicken tikka as well. Just give me chicken.
Varieties of chicken.
Can you chuck a leg on my pizza, please? No, I don't do it. Chicken wing pizza.
I don't care, whatever it is, whatever leg you've got, chuck it up.
So yeah, I never venture out. That's my sub, and I have the exact same thing. I've had it now for about 10 years.
Jesus,
that same sub for like 10 years. Apart from when I added pepperoni on, but that was never gonna fail because it's just pepperoni. I knew I'd like it. Okay, so now we'll go on to what are our plans for Twitch /YouTube and our online entertainments. Now we'll go with you first on this one because I want to know.
It's just difficult, isn't it? Because like I want it to do well. Obviously, I want to, if I could make partner Twitch. But I understand that I do actually have to stream.
That is a big part of it. Believe it or not.
Big part of it. So yeah, I'd say ultimate goal, partner on Twitch. I'm not fussed about being like one of those, those guys who've got like thousands of people in chat at any one time because I like the interaction. I like being able to, this is pick up on regulars.
Exactly something I've said for like since I started streaming, where obviously everyone will have people either come into their chat or it'll be someone that who just wants to tell you that you can't do it. My thing for that has always been, I'm not asking to be on the fucking front page with 30,000 viewers every day. If I could do it where it's literally just my main source of income and I don't need another job other than streaming, even if that, whether that's with, 100 viewers or 1,000 viewers, whatever, I'm okay with that. I don't need to be the fucking biggest person on Twitch, just big enough. That's what I've always said. I don't need to be the biggest, just big enough. But yeah, like you say, you don't need to have like fucking 30,000. But yeah, so yeah, sorry, carry on.
To me, you can't provide good entertainment like that. Like you can be obviously right, you can be entertaining, but you can't have that bond, and that's quite important.
Yeah,
To me is to have that bond. Like we've both got people that come into our chat that we both know. It's like, how you doing? You all right? Thanks for stopping by. You have a chat with them. It's nice.
Yeah.
And I just think when it gets to the point where you've got so many people in there that your chat's like,
if you look away for a second, you're missing hundreds of messages.
Exactly, and people have to donate to get you to even see their message. Like, I just don't.
Yeah.
That's not what I want.
It's
I'd be like you. I'd be comfortable on. I'd be happy on just being able to do it, consistently, and not have to sacrifice something else to do that. YouTube is something I would like to do. That is more on me, not quite having motivation for that yet, but I feel like I can get there.
How do you think you need to motivate yourself? Because for me personally, I just have to tell myself, okay, we are doing this now, and just go and start. Otherwise, it just won't happen.
I envy that. I still don't know. I am
that doesn't mean that it's happening quick. That could be after 2-3 weeks, months of me telling myself now and then not doing it. Like, I compare a lot of things. I think you can tell a lot about yourself and your self-control in your behaviors by how long it takes you to get out of the bed in the morning. You know what I'm saying? If you have that drive and that willpower to get up and just get out of bed,
oh mate,
you have a lot of self-control. This morning I sat there, for half an hour I was on my phone, just doing nothing, and I was like, what am I doing? Get up. And I think that can tell you sort of a lot about yourself. And I think if you approach a lot of things the same way you approach getting out of bed in the morning, in the sense that you just have to bite the bullet and just go, okay, I'm getting out. And obviously this applies more now because with us being in lockdown, there's no one telling us when to get out of bed. There's no one telling us we have to go to work. This life right now is as free as it will be for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
Whereas usually, obviously, we have to get out of bed. But right now, I think you can compare a lot of things to getting out of bed. So for YouTube, maybe you won't start it until you just tell yourself, I'm putting my first video out today.
Yeah.
And you just edit it and do it. So maybe that's your thing, but I don't know. How do you think you have to motivate yourself?
You see, as of recording, I've currently been on this earth for 23.5 years, and I still have not got the foggiest on how to motivate myself. I have got side projects on top of side projects not finished. I'll figure it out somehow. It will happen.
It will happen.
This is me saying it on here. This is record. It will happen.
It will happen.
It will happen.
So, as far as Twitch goes, would you say that you want to be a Twitch streamer? Is that your end goal for this to be the job you do full time?
I would be happy.
You'd be happy
if I could even part-time it, if you know what I mean, like have a part-time job.
Right. Do you know what? I had never considered that as an option. To work a job part-time and the rest of the time be a streamer. I'd always considered it a very all or nothing.
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3 days a week of
content
work.
Creation. Oh, yeah.
And then the rest,
I had never considered that. I had always thought... I'd never considered dropping hours to do it. I'd never thought about that. That's a bit saucy. That kind of makes it all seem very more real and possible.
Yes. Well, there you go. You're welcome.
Okay. So...
Okay, well, yeah, that's pretty much me.
So for me, I have tried a lot of different lines of work. I've done everything from agriculture to military. Very brief spell. Very, very brief spell. Like, I don't deserve any sort of praise for it or anything. It was a very, very brief spell. Um, and I've worked a lot of different fields, and I've just discovered that there is nothing fills that hole for me except this. This is it. Like, if, and I know that sounds very, very sort of all your eggs in one basket, and admittedly, that is very much the case. Because like I say, I've tried everything else. There is nothing else that I can see that I would enjoy as much as doing this. So for me, the long term goal, absolutely Twitch partner, 100%, full time content creator, and that is absolutely my goal. So if you want to be a part of that and you want to join the ride, by all means, drop a sub, follow me on Twitch, all that good stuff, because I'm putting ridiculous Twitch primes, all that stuff, because that is definitely my end goal. So if you're thinking, I don't want to sub to somebody who's just going to stop in a few months, because granted, that is what a lot of people do, but I don't think that's the case. I think this is definitely, for me, it, you know?
You can tell that from watching, like when you watch you can tell that, you know,
I'm glad it comes off like that.
A goal. It does.
Good. I put a lot of time and effort into making things as pretty. My lights just arrived today. For those of you who haven't seen these lights before, that's because they were this is the first time these lights have ever been recorded or broadcast in any way. I very much like to tweak things and make it all look as professional as possible. Because like I say, this is definitely the end goal. So I'm putting a lot of effort into my socials, which I've never been big on using Twitter and Instagram a lot, but at the minute it's very much a very daily process. But in terms of like viewer counts, would I be happy being one of the biggest? Of course, absolutely. I can't sit here and say that that's not what I want, but I would definitely be happy and content for this to at least just be a viable full-time thing for me, you know? I do very much enjoy the interaction of having a small stream, and I think that is definitely one of the biggest selling points for my channel. It's definitely something that I have, had feedback on, is the interactivity of the chat. I was actually thinking about it the other day. I'd love to know how many messages in chat I've ever missed after like 3-4 months of streaming, because I'd bet it'd be single digits. I don't think there's many messages in my chat that I've missed, because I do go out my way to have a very interactive experience. And obviously that is something that would be lost with a higher viewer count, but I think that I would cross that bridge when I came to it and try to give out a interactive Twitch thing. You know, I would very much try. So yeah, that's what that's my goals. As far as YouTube for me is like a side thing to just try and bring more people to Twitch. Very much all of my Twitter and my Instagram are purely for me a funnel to bring people to Twitch. So yeah,
YouTube can be successful. There's a guy who, when I'm not watching twitch.tv/Smithdoggy, I mod for his channel, and the amount of people you see that come into the chat and say, I found you through YouTube, is actually quite surprising.
Yeah, that's exactly why, because there's I'm sure I pointed you to his channel before, a guy called Harris Heller. He got his break off doing basically tutorials for new streamers, or well, not necessarily tutorials. Some are, but in a lot of ways it's just advice. He also just recently released that Stream Beats playlist. That's him as well. He released content for streamers and YouTubers alike that they can use without having to worry about copyright. It's purely free for everyone to use. And the main bit of advice he says for you to grow a channel is to grow audiences on other platforms and bring them to your stream, because on Twitch you are only discoverable when you're live in the category you are live in, whereas on YouTube you are discoverable 24 hours a day. So yeah, it definitely does make sense that guy is having people come to him from YouTube, because that is where you are most discoverable. So yeah. That is what people say. So the next thing we were going to go on to, but I think we've just kind of covered this, is what would you like to do for a living? So I know you have a...
Go into what, if it wasn't this,
oh yeah, we could do that.
what
So,
would it be instead?
so I know you have a degree in biology. Is that something that you
Mhm.
plan on chasing, or is that for you just like completely sort of fizzled out?
I'm definitely open to seeing where it could take me, but at the minute I'm not. Especially with this whole, it is difficult saying like job prospects at the minute, especially with this whole thing going on. You don't know what jobs there are going to be, that kind of thing.
True.
But I'm also quite into software development. What I really want to do is combine the two.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of a way that I can do that. But that would be.
I tell you what, have you watched a YouTube channel called Danny? And it
I
is
have not.
Dani. I think that's all it is. And this is a guy who, I mean, at the minute, this podcast is literally just turning into me shouting at other people. But,
You're
but
welcome, other people.
what he does, he makes videos of him making like mobile games and things, but it's fucking hilarious. I'll link it in the description below since I'm saying it. But you can, I'll show you. And that might be something that you could look at, not necessarily replicating, but putting your own sort of spin on, because it is really fucking good content. And maybe if you could find a way to do that, like with live streaming, and maybe that's something that you could look at for, sort of help you brainstorm how you could incorporate it. Because you do like using Blender, don't you, and things like that.
I have blended before.
Mm.
That was a stream, that like a series that I was going to do. I had just kind of haven't. But again, that's just me. But it's definitely something that could pop up again. So keep them eyes open.
So ideally for you, for your living, you would like to sort of combine sort of software development and content creation.
100%.
That's what. Okay, that's what we're getting at. Okay. So for me, like I say, we did just kind of cover this. For me, it's a very straightforward answer. What would I like to do for a living? It's fucking content creation. That's it, through and through. That's where I'd absolutely be happiest. So let's kind of put like a more sort of precise spin on it. Let's say everything for you goes exactly how you want it to. You have, I don't know, you get gifted luck by a genie, and you can get everything goes exactly how you would want it to go. This is, I wouldn't say it's completely fantasy, because miracles do happen for some people, and it does go exactly how they want it to go. So if everything goes perfect for you now, and everything ends up exactly how you want it to, how do things look for you in like 5 years' time?
Right, my goal in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, people that have those islands in kitchens.
Yes.
I just want that. That's my goal. That's
That's
how I know
it.
I've made it. If
That'll
I've got
be-
an island in my kitchen, like, and it's got one of those things where you push into it, and it's got like plug sockets that come up, or like a knife rack. That's how I know I've made it.
that for you is. So what if you sold everything, and all you had was a kitchen with an island in it with plug sockets that raised out of it? Would you still consider yourself to have made it?
Okay. Well, let's. All right. Yeah, obviously. I'll just climb in the island and I'll sleep in there. So.
But that'll be your measure of.
Yeah, like I feel like if I get to the point where, like, I've got, it's more like the house and the environment and the people around me that I want. That is all I really want.
So, see, now I've got this really sweet image of you've been doing content creation. You finally motivated yourself. You're streaming every day. Well, not every day. You're streaming, let's say, 3 days a week, and then you're taking 3 days a week to make YouTube videos. Then the other day is like a rest day. You've been working hard at it for months. Everything's been going well. You've been building an audience. The builders have just left. You walk into your kitchen. Your missus is just sat there, just wiping down a surface or something, just cleaning up after the builders have left. You've just finished your stream up. You walk downstairs, you press that button, the plug socket's raised, and you just look down at it, smile, roll end credits.
Yeah, what? Is that how I die?
No, not like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, what you mean.
That's it. Camera pans to you, you smile, it fades to black, the end credits roll. LowPolyButt is a success story.
Yeah.
See, this for me is what kind of frustrates me, because I'm like, from someone on the outside looking into your content creation, I see massive potential there, but I also see reluctance to commit, and it frustrates me, because I never want to nag, and I never want to be like, Josh stream, Josh make a video, Josh stream. But I just wish you would, because I just think that you could be so good at it. And it's just a case of we just need to get you to really sort of throw yourself into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So for me, if everything went perfectly and everything went exactly according to plan, the ideal scenario for me would just be like, and this is, again, let me just emphasize, this is in a dream sort of world. Like, if I had 3 wishes sort of scenario. Sign to 100 Thieves immediately. That'd be like the number one thing. Now, just so this doesn't come back and bite me in the arse in a few years, if that doesn't work out, I'm absolutely 100% open to other organizations, bearing in mind that the terms are fine. Please don't anyone else see this and go, oh, well, he doesn't want to join anyone but 100 Thieves. That's not the case. It's just that would be the dream. Reason being, I was a massive Nadeshot fan for years and years. And I'm in one of his videos, but I will cover that in a video on my channel at some point in the near future. But yeah, to be on 100 Thieves would be the absolute dream. And full-time content creation with a few other healthy sponsors in there. Corsair definitely would be a dream sponsor for me. Massive advocate of Corsair products. I hope this is a Corsair headset, otherwise I'm talking shit. Yeah, Corsair headset, Corsair mouse, Corsair keyboard. I just love what Corsair puts out. So 100 Thieves, Corsair sponsorship, and energy sponsorship of some form. But I haven't tried that company's product yet. We will see.
Okay, well, they'll remain nameless.
They'll remain nameless for now.
We'll speak around the subject and
yeah. Well... God damn it! But yeah, that would be for me the number one, like, absolute perfect scenario. But obviously, again, that's absolute dream territory. But yeah, full-time content creation, 100 Thieves, Corsair, and energy sponsorship thrown in as well. So that would be it for me.
I don't think much of that is necessarily overly ambitious.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not exactly aiming for a Hollywood star. You know what I'm saying? No. But that would be, for me, that'd be the dream, and I'll definitely aim for that. I think there's that old expression. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but aim for the stars, you might just land on the moon. You know what I'm saying? So. That'd be the perfect scenario, and I'll aim for it. If it happens, I'll be extremely happy. If not, I can at least say that I gave everything a damn good go.
Exactly.
And yeah. So let's go on to some actual gaming for now. What right now is your favorite game to play at this moment?
That is a very good question. Okay, I absolute favorite.
Yeah, is there anything right now that you wake up and think, oh, I can't wait to turn on? Insert game title here.
The minute, see, it's a weird one because I haven't actually played it for a while. I keep saying to myself, play that game right now. The old PlayStation's downstairs, and I can't be bothered. But it would probably be the PS4 God of War.
Right, okay.
Which I know you have a Viking fascination.
I very much do, yeah. Love Viking.
And while it isn't necessarily Viking, it's Norse.
Yeah.
Set in the Norse. I don't want to say mythos, but you know what I mean.
It's influenced.
Exactly. And it's just from start to finish, an absolute experience.
Yeah.
It's just you've got an axe that you can just throw about. You're like Thor with Stormbreaker.
Yeah.
It's not electricity, it's ice, but you get the point. You throw it, you call it back. What's cooler than that?
Yeah.
Nothing.
See, now this for me is something where I think a lot of people who look at themselves as like gaming sort of elitists would kind of laugh in my face, but I personally have never been like a big single player sort of gamer. I just don't really get on with it that much. I've always been very multiplayer orientated, personally. And like I say, I think a lot of people kind of look down on that, but for me, that has always been what I find the most interesting. It's always been what's appealed to me more. So, God of War, I genuinely have never played. I have I think the last single player game that I played all the way through would be Spider-Man. Actually, the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man,
yeah,
and that was fucking incredible. Yeah. Now, the reason it was so easy for me to play that all the way through is because it's a character that I already know and adore, and I played all the games in my childhood, so I think a lot of it was nostalgia, and obviously with the MCU booming, it's kind of in a bit of a lull at the moment after Phase 4 kind of finished, yeah. Phase 3 finished, and now we're going into Phase 4, aren't we? Yes. I think we're going into Phase 4 now. But with obviously the end of the whole Thanos saga, it's kind of starting and taking a new direction now. But with that being, at its peak at that moment,
I mean, Infinity War was coming out at that point, wasn't it? Because there's an Infinity War suit in it.
Yeah, so it was very easy for me to sort of pick that up and play it. But yeah, single player games for me. Would you say you're more multiplayer or more single player orientated?
100%.
What was that? Sorry, single player.
Single player, yeah. Absolutely, 100% single player. Like, I would say I love playing multiplayer games. But I think it's more that the people that you play with.
Yeah, definitely.
That really make multiplayer games for me. Obviously, the game itself has to be good. There's no point playing a really bad multiplayer game with good friends because you just won't enjoy it. Unless you just spend the whole time taking the piss out of it.
Yeah, I think there's always room in everything in life. This applies to everything except food, for it to be so bad that it's good. I think one of my favorite cinema experience was to see The Meg, and that was so bad that it was good. And I think in games, there's definitely, as long as it's multiplayer, there's definitely room for that.
Absolutely.
So you're single player sort of through and through.
I would say so. Like, especially, I just think if you compare the first party exclusives, Sony just knocked it out of the park.
Okay.
With their recent generation, obviously starting with The Last of Us on PS3, that was an experience. Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, all of them, Uncharted, the Uncharted quadrilogy, just.
Did it for you.
Absolutely.
I think for me the main thing that would appeal about single player games, and this is something that I'm currently dealing with right now, is that obviously there's less issues that you can have with single player games. Whereas multiplayer games, you are at the mercy of connection, you are at the mercy of the community, you're at the mercy of just a lot of other things that can go wrong. Whereas single player, you have the experience and whatever it will be. Now, with The Last of Us, that for me is the complete opposite of what I would find enjoyable. I tried to play it because obviously all the hype around it, and I could definitely understand it, and I can see why people like it. But for me, that was the complete opposite of what I would like, because it was a lot of sneaking around. And that, for me, I hate that in games. Apart from Call of Duty 4 or Gillied Up. Best single-player mission of any game ever. But you're looking like you either disagree with that or you haven't played it. You haven't played it?
I hate to disappoint, but yeah.
You've also never played Halo through, have you? Or never played Halo?
No.
See, this is
PlayStation child, so
you see, this is the thing is I was at Xbox, so we've kind of
mm.
bang fill in
Well,
all those
I
holes.
played. I tried the. Oh, what was it? The, on the Master Chief Collection, the first one was it Combat Evolved?
Mm,
That one that came out first. I tried that. I hated it.
yeah. Well,
It
I
didn't
think the
play
big thing
well
about
for
Combat
me.
Evolved was it was good for its time. It
Mm,
was ahead of its time when it was released. It is no longer ahead of its time in 2020.
no,
So yeah,
I
back
hate
then.
the way it
Yeah, I think that's understandable. That's one thing I can never do. I think with games, I like to leave nostalgia as that and not necessarily revisit old games
exactly.
because you'll go back and you'll be like, wow, this actually is nowhere near as good as I
Mm.
thought it was.
It's like I'm the same with Assassin's Creed. So Assassin's Creed 2 was one of my first games on PS3. It was one of the first games I remember being like, wow,
Yeah,
holy shit, that's fantastic. But I'd never go back and play it
yeah,
because it's changed so much.
yeah. I
You know,
think
it's
you kind of romanticize it in your head, don't you? You look
mm,
back and the sort of image you paint in your head, everything looks like real life. And then you go back and play it, and it's like, why does this man's face look like a cardboard
why is it
box?
just a square?
Yeah. So
I remember being
yeah,
so emotional, and it's just like that
yeah.
is a square.
I think there's I think that sort of plays into it a
Mm.
lot. The only thing that isn't sort of tainted by that for me is like the old Pokemon games
Oh yeah, because
from my
that
childhood.
that they are, with the exception of like Sword and Shield,
Mm.
they've been the same.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's be honest, they've put color in and maybe made the mod maybe like shifted the camera down from top down to slightly that angle.
yeah.
Pretty much the only change they really made until like Sword and Shield.
They are fantastic games. Looking back, Red and Blue, the fact that they were even able to fit all that in, it just seems like a lot compared to the other sort of Game Boy games that were around at the time. But the old models for the Pokemon are hilarious. They all just kind of make like the same noise, that like high pitched beeping sound, and they looked atrocious. But again, it's one of those things where you'd look back and you see Charmander in game in your head as the perfect Charmander, but then you load it up and he just looks something out
More
of a horror
pixels,
film. Yeah, like something out of a horror film. But but yeah, I like to leave sort of nostalgia just in the past
mm.
and not necessarily revisit it. I know that I'm sure I heard that they were looking at remastering Halo 3. Now, and then
Doing all of them as part of the Master Chief Collection.
yeah, in the next episode we'll go into our gaming memories and favorite games a bit more, so I don't want to sort of dabble in this too much. But Halo 3 is my favorite video game of all time. And so for me to sort of revisit that would be very risky because I don't want to ruin those very very sort of cherished memories for me. I'd hate to go back and sort of ruin that. But
Well, from what I hear, a lot of people like they remember. Oh, what was it? It was like people saying it was simpler times, like when like Modern Warfare 2 came out, and you'd have like a can of Monster with the boys, get home from school,
yeah,
load it up. I feel like that's quite a lot of it for quite a lot of people as well.
yeah, definitely. It was just like life in general was a lot
Mm,
simpler for us then. I think it's interesting how different kids nowadays experience gaming compared to
mm,
how we experienced it as kids. It was completely different for us. And that being said, even for me, I'm like 3 years older than you, so gaming back then was advancing quite quickly. So even the games I experienced as a kid will be older than the ones that you experienced, and so even your experiences to mine can differ in a lot of ways. But kids nowadays, obviously, with sort of Fortnite is the one that comes to mind immediately with kids and gaming nowadays. They have a completely different experience with gaming now, and I think that'd be interesting to see an experience. For example, Lily, my 6-year-old, she is just playing Minecraft, and that is something that I never got to experience as a kid. I think it's going to be interesting to see the sort of route gamers go now as opposed to the way we're sort of going. A lot of people our age had it quite easy getting into content creation because that was coming through brand new with gaming and things, and obviously now we have to try and breach a very saturated market and try and sort of bust our way through the thousands and thousands of content creators with it, and that sort of goes hand in hand with gaming as well. But we'll take it back to the original question of favorite game right now. Yeah, favorite game right now for me is Valorant. That's what I'm primarily playing at the moment. That's what my content at the minute is based around. But it's kind of on a knife's edge because the game is obviously still in its hype phase. Which way is it going to go? Is the audience going to die out? Is the game going to just die completely? Now, I have a lot of faith in Riot because Riot did League, and that for a game, people can say what they want about League. I can slate League all I want. I played League for 4 years, but for you to have a game that is at the top of the industry for 10 years, that is not something that anyone, like with a head on their shoulders, can fucking try and talk down. That is an incredible, unrivaled achievement. Fortnite did well for, like, let's say a year or two. I would say Fortnite for now is just another game. By no means is it the game anymore.
In my opinion, better battle royales out there.
What was that? Sorry, your mic needed to warm up for a second there.
Right, she's fallen asleep a bit. Yeah, especially not with so many other battle royales out there doing battle royale better.
Yeah, definitely. Warzone sort of comes to mind. That's decent.
I'd rather play Warzone or Apex over.
I never understood how anyone could even fucking play Fortnite in the first place. You know, when you'd start shooting at someone and they'd turn into a fucking 8-story building in the blink of an eye, I'm like, how is this enjoyable? I never understood it. But yeah, for me, Valorant is definitely it ticks all the fucking boxes for me at the minute. But it's still in a very questionable position. Now there is, of course, the question of is this beta gonna be going until launch? Which is the way it looks like it's going that way. They've just opened the beta for what were the regions? Brazil
and Latin America.
Yeah, they've done it for Brazil, Korea, and somewhere else, which I'm forgetting. They've just opened it up to them, and they have said that they want to, in the near future, open it for more people. Now, that is them just opening the beta for other people. That, to me, says that there is still weeks, maybe months left of this. And the game was supposed to be released in summer, and they haven't expressed any plans for release to be pushed back. No. So it looks...
I think they will just roll beta into release.
Yeah,
there might be like a week of downtime while they just like prep the servers and reset accounts and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me if there was less than 2 weeks between beta.
Has a game ever done this before, to your knowledge?
Not to my knowledge.
Apart from games that sort of brand themselves as early access, and then an update will come out that is like version 1.0, and then it's out.
See, I don't know if that's necessarily a bad comparison.
Yeah, I think it's the same. I think what they're doing right now is Valorant early access without them saying early access, because that definitely got bad sort of stigma attached to it, the early access thing. Because that's what H1Z1 did. What else did it? Fucking everything. DayZ was like early access. I don't know if Rocket League was ever early access. I feel like for some reason that's in my head, but I don't know.
It's a decent player base, though. I think that's done all right.
Yeah. But a lot of games did that early access thing, so maybe they're just kind of doing early access without saying it. And maybe that's what's happening. But for me, that's definitely where all my content is aimed, and I do enjoy it. I've just got a lot of fucking improving to do. I've got a lot... Coming from League of Legends, 4 years of League of Legends, which is the fucking polar opposite of Valorant. It could not be more different if it fucking tried to Valorant. So I'm having to relearn shooting whilst I'm against fucking players that have been playing CSGO for the fucking last 10 years. And they're just one-tapping everybody. So I can't wait for sort of the MMR to balance out and to actually get a bet against players who are of a similar ability.
placed our we did our placements last night, and we didn't do fantastically. Um, and our first game of us being placed, we just got shit on.
Yeah,
Like
it's very, very, very
shit
unbalanced.
on harder at the very bottom of the barrel than
Yeah,
we did when we were getting placed. Like,
yeah,
and there were people who still hadn't been placed, and I'm just thinking. So obviously, the way most games do it is they have a default MMR, and then you go up or down from there based on
yeah,
your performance. So why at the very bottom will we get in placed with people that still hadn't been ranked? Why weren't they higher up the ranks?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
the idea of it is that it keeps out the people that are good from interfering with the lower ranks.
yeah. Well, see, this. I think this is why they've done this in beta.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, they will have this sort of fine tuned a little bit for launch.
I don't doubt they will. It's just my big complaint at the minute is it doesn't
Yeah,
feel balanced at all.
absolutely.
I get
And
that's what a beta's for.
it's one of those things where let's call a spade a spade. I love Valorant, and when I am passionate about something, I will usually defend it till I'm blue in the face. However, let's call a spade a spade. It is very, 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 very similar to CS:GO in a lot of ways. And what's happened because of that is a lot of their skills are directly transferable to Valorant. So what that means is where people can come from Call of Duty or whatever PC FPSs there might be, and where they can change to CS:GO, they'll have shooter experience, but not necessarily be CS:GO experienced.
Kettle of fish.
Yeah, this is completely different. So those players that come from CS:GO to this new game where there is no MMR, Riot has no idea that these players existed, but have essentially been practicing for Valorant for the last 10 years, are now coming in against all these new people that are going onto this game that are completely hyped about it, and they're just fucking steamrolling everybody. And it'll take, I think it'll take a few weeks, it'll take a few months maybe of ranked before this is
before this
yeah,
is any kind of reasonable.
absolutely. And we can only because the thing is, when the game launches, if everyone is given a completely fresh start, we have to do this all over again. We'll have to go through getting
Will
shit
be
on
out
again.
You can't carry beta progress over to release.
No,
In my opinion, I don't think you can.
they've said the only thing that's going to carry over is going to be the Valorant points that you have bought. I don't know if that's what they're called, but the Valorant currency that you have bought, you will be refunded that plus 20%. Every single other thing is going to be a complete fresh start, as if you have never loaded the game up before. Yeah. In any sense, which I mean I agree with. I think that's the right thing. Obviously you'll have maybe some beta tester cosmetics.
Oh yeah, that probably. For sure. That's one of the I'll be honest, I'm a bit of a hoe for cosmetics.
Yeah, same.
Like the amount of elite skins I have on Siege is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter who I want to pick, I always seem to manage to pick someone with an elite skin.
Yeah.
So that is one. It shouldn't be, but it's one of the main reasons why I really wanted to get into this.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I need stuff.
It's just another example of that free-to-play model, just absolutely fucking dominate. Like that shit, that churns out money. I spent more money on League of Legends, and I won't even say the number on, in a video or anything. But the amount of money
on record anywhere.
Yeah, on a free-to-play game, on a game where I could have chose to have spent 0 pence. It's not 0 pence, and that free-to-play model, that shit works. A £5 here, which for anyone who isn't from the UK, £5 here, £10 here every other payday for 4 years.
Yeah,
shit adds up.
Oh yeah,
and there will occasionally be times where you'll be like, I got a spare bit of money. I'll just fucking get a lot.
to a spray, to a gun camo,
or several, and
yeah. Oh, my entire armory has 12 skins. Okay, cool.
So yeah, it's definitely Valorant for me right now, and Valorant is my baby. It's what I'm going to work on. It's what I think is going to allow the channel to grow. a lot.
Yeah, it definitely looks to have as well, especially because you can tell from watching that you enjoy playing it,
Yeah.
especially coming from someone who watched you suffer through League.
Yeah, League is. I would not recommend that game for anybody. I mean,
Well,
I've
you
tried.
recommended it to
I
me.
tried, and then I had an epiphany one day, and I was like, "This shit is just." It just got to a point where I just couldn't load it up. It just became an addiction, and nothing more, nothing less than an addiction, and that's all it was. And it's never again. You liked it on Twitter, I think. I said a goodbye to it on Twitter. I'd like to consider it part of my past now, and move on, and never play it again. The community is just too bad. But I think that's a subject for another episode, maybe.
Absolutely.
Speaking of another episode, I think we will wrap this one up here. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. As I say, this will, for the first one at least, just be uploaded to YouTube. But Josh, you have said that you are going to explore other avenues for the
Spotify, Google Podcasts, whatever your podcast provider of choice is, we want to have it on there. So if you listen to podcasts, if you're a podcast person, let us know your preferred platform, and we can look at maybe distributing on there as well.
And some of those, there is a chance that they might have requirements for, a level of demand for it to move to that platform. So how can I help that get to where I want it to be? Smithdoggy, I would really like to listen to this on Spotify. Well, you can help us by leaving a like and a comment, drop a sub, all that good stuff. It takes just a split second to click it. So I think it'll be down.
Yeah, I can never remember where it is.
Somewhere. Click the.
It's
click
up there
the
on Twitch. It's down. Yeah, you know where it is.
So leave a like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And thank you very much for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed it. And beginning our next episode, we will start rolling in some guests for topics. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you guys there. All right. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we will see you next time. Roll outro music, which we do not have yet. But
I don't know why I did whatever that is. It's the Brooklyn Nine-Nine theme tune. I don't know why.
Copyright. Fade to black.